Hello everyone, RPG Kingdom Kid here with the finale of Final Fantasy VII Remake. How are you all doing? It's been a long time since I've, well, it hasn't really been a long time since I played, but it's been a long time since I've recorded. To put in perspective, the recording I did for the story end, actually basically from all the way from the beginning of Chapter 17 to the end of the game, was in April 26th or 28th, I want to say. It's now May 13th. Today, as I'm recording this, so just put that in a little perspective. So what I've been doing is I have been playing this game basically nonstop. As you see, everyone's at level 50. I got a shit ton of experience, like over 1 million for all of them. Cloud obviously has the most because you still gain experience, which is so weird. As you see, I have all my weapons maxed. I have them all. They're all maxed. Everything's as maxed as it should be. So basically what I had to do, and it was hard as fuck. I beaten every single level on hard, which wasn't that bad. Like, basically, chapter 1, like, all of these were pretty easy. Chapter 7 had a little tough time, I believe, if I remember correctly. 8 was pretty easy. 9 was a bitch, because you had to go through this twice on hard. The reason why you had to go through it twice on hard is because, if you remember, it's for the manuscripts, and I got all the manuscripts, otherwise my things would not be maxed. So in order to get all the manuscripts in chapter 9, you had to go through it twice on hard. So that means you had to fight the Hell House twice on hard. I was able to beat him once on hard, like, pretty easy. I'm like, oh, sweet. And then I tried to use the same tactics again. The second time around, for some reason, it wasn't working as well. So I was like, fucking hell, son of a bitch. So the reason why you had to do that is because if you remember, and I believe I mentioned this during one of the earlier parts, was there's 2 sets of side quests that you get in Chapter 9. You either get the one with the Guardian Angel of the Slums and facing the robots, Sam's robots. And then the other one was, like, the one with the squats. That's on both sides. So, and then it determines what kind of dress Clouds get. So, I believe it's the one with the Guardian Angel of the Slums one you have to beat on hard mode in order to get the manuscript. So, yeah, that's basically, like, all the ones with side missions. Basically, they were, like, defeat the enemy, do these side quests on hard mode, which wasn't that hard, if you, like, understood what to do. But then, you also had to do it on the other side, because I believe it's the one to help Johnny, which is the one we didn't cover. And I kind of wish I did record the part of me doing those side quests, because it's like, oh, hey, that would have been a nice little thing to add, but nah, I didn't. They were fun. So basically with Johnny, you go around to different places to try to get the dressmaker's father back into the shop, but he's depressed because he lost his important things, so you have to go to one place, try to get to the other place, and yada yada yada. That's where the sauce kind of meme that this game produced came from, was from that side mission. So it's actually pretty funny. It's a good side quest, though. And also, when I defeated that side quest, I got the trophy for seeing all of Johnny's events, because that was like I'm glad I got that after completing this, completing the thing. So but yeah, Hell House the first time around, I was like, oh yeah, this was easy, and then I was like, oh, I can definitely do it the second time. Yeah, but I had a rough time. This one wasn't so bad on hard. Same with this one. I did steal the weapon from Eligor during the fight. That one wasn't so bad on hard. Same with this one. Actually, this one was a bit hard because I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but on hard mode, well, actually, I know they mentioned this at the end, but on hard mode, the benches only recover your HP, not your MP. Your MP only gets recovered by the boxes, and you can't use items. I kind of wish they had it where you could use items outside of battle, but then the whole, like, well, then your MP thing wouldn't be as much as a challenge, because then, like, at the end of every fight, you could just refill your MP. Because you get a shit ton. Like, just look down there. I have almost 700,000 gil, because there's nothing to really use your gil on, especially on hard mode. All it is just to buy items, but you get a lot of those items just from fighting enemies in general. And as you see, I have over 100 hours as well. Granted, I feel like at least 2 of those could be, well, I didn't really do my thing. I always just had the thing on. This one wasn't bad on hard until I got to the boss of it with the failed experiments, which I believe From what I've seen, I didn't really look too much into it. I've just seen like a few things on Twitter. Apparently those enemies are somewhat tied to Dirge of Cerberus, the Final Fantasy VII game that you play as Vincent Valentine, who's a party member that we don't get until maybe in the next net part. Search of Hope, this one was pretty easy to do. Again, you just had to do all the side missions on hard. I honestly didn't have a rough time with some of the side missions here. I had a little tough time with the boss here. This one was basically easy. I mean, you didn't really have much fights. You had the one fight. You had a few fights to get into the building, but once you're in the building, then the only fight you had left was the boss, which wasn't that hard. 17 was a bitch of a fight. Cause you had 4 bosses. You had that Swordipede, then you had the Genova, then you had Rufus, and then you had that other machine thing. Honestly, going through this on hard, it made me like, oh shit. It made me understand Rufus a little bit better. With Rufus, it's more like a waiting game, and I think I realized this during the fights. Like you can only really attack him when he's reloading or attack with magic, but I'm not using magic because I'm conserving MP for healing. Granted, it is a one-on-one fight, and that's the last fight that you use as Cloud. So, luckily, whenever you change chapters, they give you new. They full up your HP and MP, so that's good too. And then the fight with Barrett, Aerith, and Red 13 against the Arsenal enemy. There was when it started the barrier up, when it starts attacking the gun, there, you know, that weak point thing came up. I believe I noticed that during the initial fight, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. If you attack that and like you get rid of it, Red 13 would automatically stagger one of the barrier things. So then you just do that. And then when it did the homing lasers attack too, you could actually attack that as well. So that was, you know, I liked going through this on hard mode. I enjoyed it more going through it on hard mode because I was able to understand a lot of the fights a lot better. And then Destiny's Crossroad Chapter 18 was a bitch of a fight. The Sephiroth fight, it took me only two attempts to do, but the first fight was just a pain in the dick because I got all the way to when I fought the Whisper Bahamut and I died, and I had to start that whole fight all over again. That's what really pissed me off. I was like, oh my god, I had to go through this whole fight all from the beginning, and it sucked. Speaking of fights, like the Reno fight, that doing it on hard made me realize, oh, Reno is you just basically wait to counter in your Punisher mode with your guard up. That's basically all that fight was. So you just wait, and then you block, and then he's pressured for a little bit. You get a few swings on, and then you could either like roll away or stop attacking because he'll go away from you, and then you just rinse and repeat. And then when it came to bringing those EMP mines or whatever things he brought up, just triple slash, triple slash, triple slash. That's all you do. But I really loved playing through this game on hard again. I enjoyed it a little bit more. Granted, it could be the whole like, well, obviously I was like fucking over leveled. But even on level 50, I didn't feel over leveled against these guys. So yes, guys, I have done. So in order to do what we're about to do, you had to complete all of Chadley's reports. So I was able to beat Bahamut. I actually beat it on hard with Barrett and Tifa, obviously. Which it was a bitch of a fight to do, but I was able to do it. Luckily, one of the abilities that you get on all your weapons is a revive ability. Is basically you get 1 HP back, and unlike with the revive earring, it's an automatic thing. I don't think you lose any of your ATP gauge, so that is fantastic. That helped a lot for that. And then of course I had to do all the Coliseum challenges. The only one I missed was the one with Aerith's. I missed Aerith's, so I had to do that on Chapter 9. So the Shinra Combat Simulator battles, the one thing that we're missing is what we're going to get. Complete all the odd jobs, which were the only 2 I was missing were the other ones in Chapter 9 that we didn't see. Enemy intel and enemies assessed. The last 2 are in this fight that we're going to do. Learned all the weapons, got all the enemy skills. The only one I was missing was the Marlboro one. I liked the Marlboro fight. The Marlboro fight was fun as hell, and I enjoyed it a lot. I was like, okay, I have to get the enemy attack right away. I think something I fucked up on, I only had revive on one of the party members that I had with me, which was Aerith, I believe. So Aerith was the only one that had revive. And so that was a bit of a challenge, but it's somewhat easy too. The Malboro fight was easy. It's getting up to the Malboro fight that was kind of hard. And I say it's easy, but it's still a challenge. Like, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to all these fights. You can't just be like, oh, mollywop, mollywop, mollywop. Although how I got a shit ton of AP was easy as fuck. Yep, got all the manuscripts, got all music discs, got all of Cloud, Tifa's, and Aerith's dresses, saw all the resolutions, and completed all chapters on hard. So yeah, getting all the dresses, you know, I think I mentioned it before. How you get Cloud's dress is it all depends on what side quests you get, and you have to complete them, or as soon as you get the choice to go back to Madame M's, you go back to Madame M's. That's how you get Cloud's dress. Tifa's dress is the choice that you get from chapter 3. Or if you don't do any of those, she automatically goes to the mature dress. So I kind of wish that I didn't pick that one, but it's fine. But yeah. And then Aerith's dress all depends on how many side quests you did in the previous chapter in chapter 8. I felt so bad when I got the one where I did 0 side quests. Oh, because man, I was like, oh my god, you are such a piece of shit. Well, what comes around goes around, as they say. So it's like, you basically, and you know that intro where Johnny comes with Aerith? Once you tell him to like go get Aerith or tell Aerith, and then you go to Don Corneo's mansion and then Aerith shows up. That scene changes too depending on the dress, and I like that. So obviously in the red dress, a lot of people are like showing up, and it's like, oh, that's great. In the second one, the second dress is fine, and it's only like a few, I think, just little kids show up for that one. So it's just little kids. But then in the last one, oh, it's so bad. Is one, I think, like it's only animals that show up. So it's like you got dogs and cats, I believe, even a few chickens. And Johnny's just like, here you go. He's like not excited at all. He's like, here it is. There you are, and such. Like, even Cloud's like, I'm sorry. Because like he realized like, oh shit, I needed to help people in the previous chapter in order for you to get a better dress. I felt so bad for that. I was like, oh, fuck me. So I definitely was like, fuck this. Like, obviously I had to get it so I could get the Justin 9's trophy. But as soon as that happened, I was like, fuck this. I reload the chapter just so I could get her in the red dress again. I mean, I had to also reload the one. I had to go back to the previous chapter to do all that. So I was like, fuck it. You deserve to be in that red dress. I was like, no, you deserve only the best. Tifa actually looked great in all her dresses too, by the way. And then the chapter 14 resolutions, it was exactly what I thought. It's basically like, it's like in the original, there's a golden saucer date. There's a golden saucer date that you could go on to with either Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, and Yuffie, who's a party member we don't get in this game. But we'll probably get her in the next game. She actually shows up fairly early, I believe, after you leave Midgar. I actually started playing Final Fantasy VII Vanilla, or Original, whatever you want to call it. I'm not that far. I'm literally about to face the Scorpion Sentinel boss in Sector 1. So I'm basically at the start of the game. So yeah, that's basically what the chapter 14 resolutions were. So it's basically, it all depends on your choices, how good you were with Tifa and Aerith. So if you were basically like always the best with Tifa and Aerith, like they were all neck and neck, it came down to like who did you pick up at the end or at the beginning of chapter 10. That's all it came up to. And yet, apparently in the Sephiroth fight, who joins you second, I feel like is also dependent on that. Because I did it, and it still was Tifa. But even though I saw Aerith at the beginning of chapter 14. But when I watched someone else play it, and Aerith was the first one that came to their aid. So it's whatever. And then, of course, the one with Barrett is basically always be cold. Be cold. Like, when you buy a flower from Aerith, be like, no, and be like, don't be stupid. Because you actually get a second option when you're like, no, I don't want the flower. You get a second thing, you'd be like, don't be stupid type thing. And then, don't order a thing from Tifa. Don't do any of the side missions, even though you had to do one of them. Because otherwise you can't continue on with the story, which is bullshit. But with Aerith, don't do any of the side missions. Oh yeah, I guess I never mentioned. So with Aerith's dress, you know, you get the best dress by doing all the side missions. You get a decent dress by doing any between 1 and 5. And then the other one's like you do 0. So, although I don't know, maybe you have to do 6, or not 6. I think you have to do 4 side missions. So it's very hard to do. Not very hard, but it was like decently thing. So, alrighty. But yeah, like I said, freaking the music in this game is fantastic too. But anyway, I digress. I've talked a little way too much. So now we're gonna go in there with Cloud, Aerith, and Barret. So I have these guys. Barrier, First Strike, MP up, HP up. I have Assess just so I could get those last 2, but it's not really necessary. Then I have Fire. Then I have Elemental with Lightning, Revival, and Healing. Make sure all of the materia that you're going to use in this fight is maxed, because obviously it makes the most sense. And of course I have the Bahamut materia, which is very cool. I love that materia. I got Healing, and then of course Magnify with the Healing, so that she automatically heals everyone. HP up, MP up, 2 MP ups, and I believe she has 2 magic ups. Yep. Then a Prayer and Revival. Basically, you know, Prayer is still the heal, and of course everyone gets Revival. Then Barret with Healing, Revival, HP, MP, another MP, Lightning, First Strike, and Elemental with Fire. So yeah. First Strike I definitely have it on, because like then that you get more ATP gauge. And then with Equipment, obviously I have the Twin Slasher. It's not the strongest weapon. And in all honesty, I might switch it to be at... Maybe I should. Maybe I should switch it to be this. But as you see, everything goes down. But I think that's only because of the materia I have on there. If I put it... Because it looks... Because as you see, I have 0 materia on there. So I should probably maybe switch it to that right away. We'll see. If I fail, I fail. Chain Bangle, just because it has the most materia. And I have the Transference Model, which I believe is the thing that you get in Aerith's room. There's a chest in Aerith's room. The only way you could get that is the beginning of Chapter 17. Or Chapter 14. So yeah, consuming ATP gauge fills the limit gauge, which will be definitely helpful. Oh, that's not what I want. Reinforced Staff, I believe that's her strongest in terms of everything. Except for the Mithril Rod. The Mithril Rod is the strongest one in Magic, but she's not really going to be attacking a lot. She's more so for healing. And of course she'll attack as well. Sorcerer's Amulet, it's the best thing for her. And of course the headband to prevent her from going to sleep. Barret, again, this is one of those things where it's not the most powerful weapon. I believe the most powerful gun weapon is the Big Bertha. Like hell, even his first one's stronger than this one. I mean, this one's more magic too, but it's not a big deal. If I have to switch up the weapons, I probably will. Then the Supreme Bracer, again, I need one with a Link materia, so that worked. And then the Champion's Belt, I gave him the Champion's Belt, which gives him increased HP by 10% and increased strength by 50%. And because of this, he has his max HP all the way up, so that's cool. Alrighty, so I guess without further ado, so Chadley shows up here at only on hard mode. So Chadley shows up, and then he's basically like, so you can do his missions if you haven't finished them. And luckily, depending on... Actually, yeah, going through all these things, you should probably be able to do any of the last ones that you haven't done. So, yeah. I'm scared. This is the last thing I need to do in order to get the platinum for this game as well. So, I'm excited. So, hopefully, I'm able to do this. So, these were pretty easy. Although, I did have a tough time with this Aerith one. This one. Because these are the only ones that you can do on... Everything down here. Everything below here is you only can do it on hard. So that was, that was fun. Only doing this on hard. So how I got a lot of AP for all my materia was doing the 2-person team high flyers with Cloud and Barret on easy. Basically, always have first strike on both of them, and then some fire with Magnify for Cloud, and some other random ones, and then it's just basically all filled with stuff that I want to max out. It takes a while, but you get close to 200 AP with every fight. Especially you want to do this after you beat the game already, because then you get double the AP that you get. So it boosts up a little bit faster too. So the Monsters of Legends is where you fight the Malboro, which is pretty cool. And now, 3-person team versus Top Secrets. A series of 3-person team battles in which you pick your team after a succession of summoned beings awaits Shinra's ultimate weapon. One that only first-class soldier operates can hope to survive. So yeah, we'll be fighting against all of the summons. So we'll be fighting against Shiva, Fat Chocobo, Leviathan, and then Bahamut, who summons Ifrit as soon as he's like down to half his HP, which is, that's the only fight I'm most worried about. And then we'll fight Pride and Joy, the ultimate weapon. Pride and Joy fight, from what I've seen and heard, it's not that hard, but you should still be careful. Like I said, it's basically like the Malboro fight. It's like the lead up is what's the hard part to it. Yeah. Oh my god, we're almost like, oh my god, we're 20 minutes into this video. I haven't even started yet. So, alright, enough fucking around. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm scared, but I'm hoping to do this. Now, the reason why I have Aerith with a headband on is because Shiva... Shiva will put you to sleep.
This one's for you.
Move it. There we are. Take it down. Just gonna be Barrett for a bit so I can. And the good news is you do get at least 50% of your health back. With 50% of your health and MP back at the end of every fight, so
I'll show you what I can do.
Now's our chance.
Right, my turn. I'll take care of you. Keep up the pressure, okay? I can help too. One more shot. You can do it.
Hang back. No escape.
should I summon Bahamut? I think I'd get the summon with every fight still. At least I hope. If I fucked it up and I don't get Bahamut anymore, or if I don't get a summon anymore, then I fucked up. That'll be my fault.
Keep it together.
I'll take care of them. This one's for you.
Still.
Taking over. Don't overdo it.
I'll show you what I can do. Just go away.
Oh, Diamond Dust. We almost got sheep. Oh shit, it hits all of us. I think we'll survive.
I've lived through worse.
Hang back.
Mega Flare! Oh shit, I must have died or something.
Thanks.
I'll take care of them. One more shot.
Taking over. Taking over. Going in.
Stay strong and carry on.
Finish it.
Right, my turn. This one's for you. You've got this.
I got this.
Okay. Get him.
Ah, damn it. One more hit.
That's that.
Gotcha. Okay. Shiva is done. Woo! Oh, we're done here. Alright, Fat Chocobo. I'm not scared with Fat Chocobo. Fat Chocobo is probably the easiest fight out of all these. Although with,
I'm coming.
remember with Fat Chocobo, that was how a Cactuar shows up.
One more shot. Why don't you lead the way? This one's for you.
Okay, here we go. Oh, shit, fuck.
Get him.
No, not Max and Fury. Focus shot.
It's your turn now.
Enough.
Gotta go for it, Mom.
Don't stop now. Let's do
This one's for you. I'll take care of this. One more shot. What the?
Bombs away!
What the?
You see, like I said, I'm not too scared about this, although I probably will do Prey instead of Healing or Ray of Judgment.
Finish him off. One more shot.
Take him down.
Oh, hey, we got Carbuncle. That's sweet. Oh, hey, we got Cactuar. I need to find that Tomberry. Where's the Tomberry? Raise.
You okay?
You got this!
Hang back. take the lead.
Here goes.
Oh.
That was something. One more shot. Go on. Get him. This one's for you. Stop it. Okay. What the? One more shot. Let the winds caress you. It's your turn now.
Say your prayers.
Say your prayers. Bam. That chocobo. Done and done. All right, Leviathan's next. I'm actually going to put Mana Wall on Barret and Cloud. What? Ah, fuck! Shit, I put it on.
Don't overdo it.
So it's my turn?
Come on.
This one's for you!
Okay, no, I didn't. I thought I accidentally put it on.
Watch and learn. Here it comes. You're up.
Hang back.
There. Go on!
Whoop, there goes that.
Keep it together.
I'll show you what I can do.
I'll do it. I'm gonna pay you back twofold. Back to the list. Hit fire.
Get him!
Want some more? You can handle this.
I'm coming! Keep it up! That was something. That's it! You've got this!
Taking over.
Tidal wave. I think we'll survive it. It's just Mega Flare that we will not survive. Oh, fuck.
Gotta be careful.
Maybe we... Back to business.
It's on you.
Guess it's my turn.
Break yourself.
Fire one off. Don't be opportunity right here.
That one's for you!
Bring it home.
So it's my turn?
Yeah.
One more shot!
I got this. Bam. Finish it.
I can help too.
No, Ray of Judgment.
Finish him off.
I've got this.
Ready?
Don't stop now.
You ain't going anywhere.
Go on. That's it.
Okay, here, steel skin.
Stay back. Here it comes. Hey. Get him.
Almost got him pressured again. Just heal, I suppose.
Keep it up. This one's for you.
We're almost all the way up to our... Oh yeah, when I got, fuck, I didn't want lifesaver. The Aerith's other ability is not that great comparative, because I think all that does is just, I believe it just, it kind of, I think I put barrier on everyone, something like that. Whoops, wrong person.
Get him. What the? That's it.
Oh, please, please. Oh, that's with Eric.
There.
Let's dance, asshole.
You're about to get that head stuff.
Yeah. Okay,
That's over.
that's over. Now to the one that I'm most scared of.
Bring it.
All right, watch and learn. Here it comes. Gotta love it.
I got this.
That's a good one.
Keep it together.
Guess it's my turn. Back to the litter. Bring it to here. Come on.
Take it over. Let's switch it up.
I'll take care of him.
All right, watch and learn.
I got this.
Here goes. Tagging out.
Guess it's my turn.
I'll take care of you.
Here it comes.
Try this.
Gotta love it. Fire up.
My turn.
This one's for you.
Deal with that.
All right.
Oh my!
Want some more?
Let's do this.
I'll take care of them.
Trying not to be
One more
loud
shot.
when I do this shit.
They're hurt. It's your turn.
Yeah, I'll do it. Back to the list. Hit my ass. Ah. Yeah. Want some more? Yeah. Bring it home.
Hang back.
Bring it home.
It's on you.
Need my help, do you? Firing one off.
So it's my turn? Why don't you lead the way?
Bringing the heat. You're up.
Taking over. Here it comes. Keep it together.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Go on.
Want some more? Suck on this.
If I can get him pressured, that'd be great.
I got this.
I'm coming. This one's for you.
My turn.
Go on.
Deal with that.
Hit my ass.
Ah, yep, here comes Ifrit.
Bring it home.
Here goes.
Let's do this. Nothing personal.
Get him.
Gotcha.
I'll take care of them.
Shoot, I don't
One
have
more
the
shot.
Zaga.
You can do it.
Need my help, do you? Want some more? Here it comes. Hurry up. This ain't nothing.
Uh-oh, one.
You got this.
Here goes.
My turn.
Go on.
Oh, fuck, fuck, fuck.
You'll feel better.
About damn time. Don't look now, but it's about to get real. Fire is one off. Give them what's coming to them.
Everything's spinning. Just taking a
Yes,
little
my
break.
turn.
Hang back.
Uh-oh. I'm glad we were able to do that.
I won't let you down.
Still kicking. Sorry.
Come on, you can do it. Guess it was for
Girl to save my me. We still got it.
No! Oh my god! I lucked the fuck out!
This one's for you.
Oh my god, I lucked the fuck out! I lucked the fuck out!
Okay, up and at 'em. Go on.
Oh my god, I lucked the fuck out! I think we got this! I think we got
One
this!
more tagging out.
My turn.
I'm here. Go on.
Yeah, I'll do it. Want some more? Come on.
Leave it to me.
Finish it, Cloud!
Let's dance, asshole.
Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm so. Oh my god! I think we got this. I think we got this. Oh my god! I'm sorry I wasn't talking at all, but fuck me. I think we got this. Pride and joy.
I got your number. Call it lightning. Here it comes on you.
Gotta love it.
Ooh. Is this. I think this is the song that plays during the fight with Rufus, which I fucking love. Yep, it is. This is the song that plays when you fight Rufus. That is a great ass song. It's one of my favorite songs that plays.
Bring in the heat. Suck on this. Ooh, gotta love it. You're up.
Let's do this.
So it's my turn? Get him!
Shoot, this. I believe this is going to be a.
This one's for you! I'm backing off a bit. What the? I'd keep my distance if I were you. One more shot! Hey, you asked for it. Go on! Hopping at him. It's your turn.
I'm overmatched. Hip fire. Suck on this.
Shit.
Take that.
Coming at you hard and fast.
I'll show you what I can do.
Barrett, you bring Cloud back to life. Okay, you can't. I mean, you can.
You can do it. There. Go on.
I'll end this.
Firing one off. Sorry.
Taking over.
Come on, I can't do this without you. Suck on this. Can't you sleep?
Let me teach him a lesson. One more shot. I'm here. Go on. Here it comes.
Back to the left. Now finish.
My turn. Gotta give it my all. Try this. Call it lightning. Take the lead.
Yes, it's my turn. Here it comes.
God damn, this music's so fucking good.
Gotta love it. Firing one off. Bringing the heat. You got this.
I got it.
Go on.
This. Gotta be careful.
Okay.
It's on you.
I'm up for anything.
Let's do this. Keep it together.
You need me, huh?
I'll take care of him. This one's for you.
Come on.
Go on.
Hang back.
Lend me your strength.
This tactic part I enjoyed.
Carry
You're mine.
Why now?
on. Ready or not, here it comes.
on you.
Mind over matter. Suck on this.
Almost got him, 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 almost got him.
Live for this shit right
Here we go. You are done, Pride and Joy.
Making time y'all return to the fight.
Ultimate weapon and
That was pretty.
Master of Fate.
Let's keep it up.
Boom. Oh my god. And now we got the Gudendammer gun. Also, I realized we weren't able to summon anymore during any of these fights, so I fucked up during the Shiva fight. I should have been able to bring Bahamut into this fight. I fucked up during the Shiva fight. I should have waited until this fight to bring the summon. Oh well, that was my fault. Ooh. Sorry I wasn't talking so much during that, but fuck me. That was good. I like that.
Well done, Cloud.
Hey, Chadley.
You've managed to fully tap into the potential once locked within you. Now that my research is at long last complete, I believe that it's time I told you the truth about myself.
I was spoiled about this, but it's
I'm
still
not
interesting.
human. I'm a cyborg created to serve as Hojo's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I was given knowledge and power beyond that of a human. But I was robbed of free will, bound to obey the whims of my master. But when we met, Cloud, I sensed something within you. Something I knew would allow me to break free of my chains. By identifying and studying a subject with infinite potential such as yourself, I could adhere to the directives imposed upon me, all the while pursuing my plans for independence in secret. Your combat data provided me with the vital information that I required to enhance my basic functionality. This is the result. Through my research and with your assistance, I have freed myself from Hojo's bondage.
Cool.
Cool.
I cannot thank you enough for your help. You've given me the power to finally live life on my own terms.
So, what are you gonna do now?
I'm not sure. It's all a big, wonderful mystery.
God, I love this name so much.
It's nice, not knowing something for a change.
Whew. So we did it. We beat Pride and Joy. I platinumed this game. And it was fun. So I believe the Gudenmager believe that it enters battle with the full limit break gauge. The limit break gauge gradually fills during battle. So it's a little bit better than my than the module thing that I have on. It's basically I start with a limit gauge, which is awesome. So, whew, oh boy, this was a good game. I love this game a lot. I have there's so much things to say about this game. I'm going back to kind of what was already talking about back at the end of the previous video where I mentioned obviously there's a lot of differences and I'm so excited for this, and I'm excited more because before the recording of the previous video, the Ultimata of this game did not come out yet, but it came out and it came out. Playlog, bam! I got the crown. That was awesome. I was like, oh shit, did I was like, I'm sure I know for sure I assessed Ifrit, but did I assess Pride and Joy? And I did. Woo! I'm happy for that. But anyway, as I said, this was before the Ultimata came out, and the guys don't even know. The directors and such don't even know how many parts this could be. They like the whole small increments, and I'm somewhat okay with that because of how they explain it. It's we can do it in small increments, which means we can get them out faster and such. My guess is we're not going to see the next one in 2021. The next one I feel like is going to be 2022, and I feel like that could be a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game. But then the one that's after that is going to be a PlayStation 5 only because I feel like the PS4 would probably be I don't want to say it'd be dead, but it'd probably be pretty much dead. But I'm excited. Like, yeah, they said a lot of things like we want to do small increments. This isn't a sequel. This is, and I actually liked what they gives. Like, we could have done a whole upscaling of just the regular game, but you can play the regular game already. If you want to play the regular game, it's right there on the PS4 for only like $10. It's not that bad, and it looks great. Hell, like I mentioned, I started playing it yesterday, and it looks beautiful to me. Yeah, it's not as great as this, but like, come on. For a game that was on the PlayStation 1 and it looks how it does now, it's fantastic. So if you want to play just, hey, you want to get the original Final Fantasy VII experience, it's right there. It's right there. So they're like, what would be the point of us upscaling just that game to be like this? What would be the point of us not adding anything new, just keeping it as is? And yeah, and I love the whole new things that they have. And, the new characters, the more in-depth we got into with the Avalanche people. And everything. Like, I love everything that they've done with this game. It's fantastic, and I hope everyone enjoyed it, and it's just great. Like, it's a fun game, and I honestly can't believe what this game was and how it came to be, especially from like that really, really early trailer that they showed in 2012, 2013. I can't remember when they showed like, hey, we're actually working on it now. And hell, I just checked Twitter. Apparently Unreal Engine 5 just got announced or revealed or whatever. And that's awesome because guess what? Games are going to look so much better now too. So I'm excited to see everything. I'm excited to see everything that this comes out. Yeah, but again, I think I need to know where will the next one end. I'm still worried. I don't want a lot. I don't want this to overstay its welcome, so to say. I feel like 5 at the most will be perfect. I'm like, you know what? 5 of these games, that's perfect. 6 or 7, I mean, they could do the whole, hey, we're doing 7 because Final Fantasy 7, yada, yada. Oh my god, I'm just looking at the tech demo for PlayStation 5 with Unreal Engine 5, and it's just beautiful. But I just like everything about this game. Like, it's beautiful. There are issues, like, granted, it is beautifully graphic, and there's a lot of unloaded textures and such, especially with, like, the doors that you had in the room, in the inn or whatever, the apartments, whatever they were called in Sector 5 or Sector 7. Like, I get that. I totally get that. They're like, you know what? They had to cut corners. But everything else about this game is still beautiful, and I love it. Yeah, there's still some issues. It's not by far a perfect game, but it's definitely a perfect experience, I'd say. This is the perfect love letter to Final Fantasy VII fans and just Final Fantasy fans in general. Like, I kind of wish, at the beginning, when you start up Final Fantasy 15, it says Final Fantasy for fans new and old or whatever like that. That would have been perfect for this one too. But granted, I can totally see another aspect, because there's a lot of things that would go over your head if you did not play or know about anything about the original Final Fantasy VII. Like everything about Zack, all those flashbacks that kind of Cloud got, all those scenes that you had in the Whisper fights, all that stuff would have gone over your head. Granted, one of those did go over my head in the final fight, but when I played through it again, I was like, and I saw the scene again, and I was kind of focused, like that was the only thing I was looking at. I was like, oh, that's what it is. So I know what that scene is after I kind of like paused and looked. I was like, oh, fuck, that's what that scene is. Like, that's what a lot of things are. It's like, sometimes you just have to stop and look at everything. You have to look at how it all goes. So I'm still glad about this, and I'm super excited to see what they'll do next. Now, the whole ending, I can definitely see a lot of people being polarized about the end. They'd be like, I didn't understand, so I don't like it, or I understood it and I still don't like it, or I don't understand and I liked it, or I liked it and I understood it. Like me, I understood the ending after I like watched it a couple times, because I watched it more than once. I watched it more than twice because I'm like, fuck, what the hell is this? I was like, obviously during my initial reaction to it, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh my god, I love the ending. I think how it works is now we are on different timelines. We are not on the original timeline anymore of the original Final Fantasy here. And, of course, now that Zack survived, that's on a different timeline, too. So there's now, like, 3 timelines of Final Fantasy VII. There's the original timeline. There's this timeline that we're on that we broke free from Fate. So I'm actually curious if Whispers will actually show up in any parts after this. Because that's kind of... I have a feeling they won't. Because we beat them. And there'll be no reason for them to be like, because basically what the Whispers were, okay, we have to keep these guys on track for Fate. And for the most part, they did. Like, they hurt Jesse. They were the reason why Jesse couldn't go on that mission. So that resulted in us going on the mission, because we had to go on the mission. Otherwise, we wouldn't have met Aerith and done everything in Sector 5. So we had to do that. And then they kind of tried to prevent, they made Biggs and Wedge and Jesse die. Now, it's unfortunate, apparently, because I was so curious, I kind of looked up, like, what happened to Wedge at the end of this, and people are saying he's dead, because he tried to escape or something. I guess that was that one scene that showed he tried to escape, but then the Whispers pulled him back in for him to, like, or pushed him out the window or something, and he died. I don't know. I feel like his fate is unknown for now. I thought we saw him at the end sequence, too, but I don't think we did. Biggs is alive. Jesse is probably most likely dead, which is unfortunate because, like, god damn it. Like, this game made me care about those 3 people. Original Final Fantasy, you're like, okay, they're just here, and then they died, and I'm like, well, that sucks. Didn't get to know anything about them, but it's not a big deal. Obviously, Barrett and Tifa should have felt like the most emotionally invested in them because, like, hey, they were their group type thing. But me, as the player, I was like, it's neither here nor there. It wasn't a big deal. Actually, if I remember correctly, when you come back to Sector 7 in the original game, and when Biggs falls down, because Wedge falls, he actually dies there, or he says he gets severely injured, and I believe that's how he dies. He does not get back up. A lot of people died during that collapse, because I think the only people who really survived were, like, Marlene, Aerith, Tifa, Barrett, and of course Cloud, and, like, maybe some other stragglers here and there. But thanks to, like, our intervention because of Wedge staying alive, he was able to get more people out type thing. So that's what happened. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I like that they're like, this is not a sequel. This is not I think they said it's somewhat of a reimagining in a way. I'd have to look at that interview again to be like 100% sure like how this is. But they for sure is like, this is not a sequel. This is not a sequel. This is I think it is a reimagining. It's a reimagining somewhat. But they did say they're going to keep most of the core elements, if not all of the core elements of Final Fantasy VII in this game. And I'm actually happy with that because there's something. I've already mentioned this at the end of the previous video. You know, when I went on my whole spoilers about Final Fantasy VII, vanilla, original, whatever you want to call it. I went on my whole tangent about that. And I'm excited, but I want to see how they're going to make that work. Is that going to be... I feel like how they can make that work is that has to be the final chapter of one of the games. Like either part 4. Let's say that's the end of part 4. That's probably the only way it's going to work. That's the end of part 4 is that event happens. And even though you don't fight a boss, at least I don't think you do, they make you fight a boss or like 2 bosses like they did in here. I feel like that's the only way they can really make it work is that has to be the end of a chapter. Is, all right, here we go. And dead and boss type thing. Like that has to happen. I feel like that's the only way that will actually work well. That can't be the start of the game. Or it could be the start of the game too, but that wouldn't make less sense because it's technically a dungeon that you go through and then you go through the whole thing. And it'd be, I mean, they could do that. They could be, all right, the start of the game is you going into the dungeon. And then, like, that could be the start of the last part or something. That could be the start of the last part is that section and then the rest of the game. I did love the side quests here. The side quests were fun. Obviously, they were more so for character development. They were for character development, which I liked. I liked that they delved a little more about Cloud. It was able to have Cloud be more. It opened him up a little bit more. Not a lot but it opened him up just a little bit enough that's like, you know what, this satisfied me. And I'm sure it satisfied a lot of people too. It's like, all right, this opened Cloud up to a lot of things. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And it grew a relationship between Cloud and Tifa more. It kind of built up on their relationship. It gave more of a relationship between Cloud and Aerith too. And even like the interactions that he had with Barrett were better. Like they were somewhat the same as it was in vanilla, but like on your way to Aerith's house to see if Marlene's there, you can just tell that their relationship's still not the best, but it was so much better than it was at the beginning. And then, of course, like, during the final boss, when you go and you rescue Tifa and Barrett, he's like, miss me? And he's like, I wouldn't go that far. You know, I love that. I love the banter and the back and forth that Barrett and Cloud get. I love that a lot, like how much their relationship grows, especially since their relationship is always the one that's like, it's not the best, because like, Barrett hates Cloud. Barrett flat out hates Cloud. The only reason he's okay with him being on that mission is because Tifa said it's okay. He's like, you know what, I hate that you're a soldier, you're an ex-soldier, you worked for Shinra, I don't give a fuck about you type thing. He's like, you are the worst. Like, you're the god-awful. Like, prove to me you're this and that. And it's like, do this, do that. Like, come on. And like, obviously, like, before this, when the Scorpion came out, I was like, you double-crossing motherfucker! And all that stuff. And he's like, oh, of course, and all that stuff. Like, he did not trust Cloud at all. And I love that. Because why would he? Why would he trust Cloud based on just Tifa saying he's okay? And even then, it's like, oh, Tifa says you're okay. That's the only reason I'm not killing you yet, is because of that reason. And I love that. I loved it. And then, of course, as the whole game went on, it did that. And I love the start of Red 13's interaction with all the characters too, especially with Barrett, because like those two get actually pretty close in the game. And I love how it started off. Especially, I love when Barrett's like, oh, come on, smile. And then he smiles, and then he's like, oh, Barrett, yet. And then Red's like, oh, and all that stuff. That's great. And then, of course, you know, Red swapped him with his tail. It's great. I'm actually super excited to see how they implement Red 13 to be a playable character in the next game. He's going to be a playable character. He's a party member. And I totally understand the reason why he wasn't a party member here, because it's like, why would we have him as a party member for only like 1.5 chapters? Like he's not, there was no reason to have him be a party member for that short of time. You have Aerith in there way longer. You have Aerith as a party member all through chapter 17, all through chapter 18, all through chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10. Like, Aerith is in here more, obviously, so it makes sense. But with Red 13, Red 13 gets introduced at the end of chapter 16. And, like, he gets introduced after you're done fighting. You go to the elevator, and that's the end of the chapter. And then you get into chapter 17. Chapter 17 is really the only place you can really, quote-unquote, play as him. How it worked in all the other, in chapter 18, was, you know, you had that bike run, which freaking hell, I'm glad you could skip that. Same with the one, even though I love those bike mini games in both chapter 4 and chapter 18 here. They were fun as hell. It was kind of hard to also get the approval of Jessie, you know, where she kiss you on the cheek. Just do it on easy if you're having a tough time. You can definitely do it on normal, but do it on easy. It's a little easier that way, because it all depends on your health. But yeah, so I'm also curious as to how they're going to start this game, because look at me. I beat the game. I'm at level 50. I have all this materia. Actually, is there a list of materia I guess, yeah, inventory. Like, I have all this materia, all these maxed out materias. I have all those weapons. I have a lot of shit. How are they going to make it work? Are they going to be like, oh, well, you changed fate, and during the course of that final battle, you lost all your materia, except for, like, your basic ones. Like, you did, like, Aerith will start with a heal, maybe wind. Tifa will have blizzard. Cloud will have fire. Bear will have lightning. And maybe Barrett or Cloud will have another cure or something like that. And you lost all your equipment except for your standard, you know, Buster Sword, Gatling Gun, all that stuff. That's another thing I'm curious about, because, like, okay, because obviously they can't be like, well, everything carries over. I mean, they could do that. I don't know how it would work that well, but I'm curious as to how that will work, is how the start of the game works. I would like it if it's like, no, like, you don't start the game at level 1. I'd like that to be like, you can't be at level 50. I don't think they'll let you be at level 50. Be like, you can be at level 25. Start the game at level 25, and then the max is level 70 or something like 75. You know, still keep that whole 50, like, as you see, 50 is the max level. Keep that whole max level is only 50 levels more. I won't mind that idea, but don't let it be level 1 to level 50 again. Let it be from level 25 to level 50. So that way it's still a little more experience even to get to level 26. Not a lot, but still a bit. And then, yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I actually want to... I want to do a semi like review and thoughts and feelings about this game as a separate video on my other channel. And then I also want to make a video about like how or what I'm looking forward to in the next parts of these games, and that those things will go full on spoilers on both this game, vanilla, Crisis Core. Hell, like, now here's the big thing I will say, and I'm going to say this all. Should you play this, or should you play Final Fantasy VII first before you play Remake? I think if you don't know anything about Final Fantasy VII, granted, if you know nothing about Final Fantasy VII, then how the hell are you on, like, what, part 37 of a Let's Play, watching the end of that? But if you know nothing about Final Fantasy VII, and you never played it, and you only know it through other people, they're like, oh yeah, it's a great game and all that stuff. It is a great game. Like, the PlayStation 1 game is still fantastic. A lot of stuff will go over your head that was in, especially like I said, those flashbacks that you get are all things that happened in the original Final Fantasy VII. But now, they could be done differently in this game, or in this series, however they want to do it. I'd say what you have to do, though, is you have to, if you really want to understand everything that this game does, you have to A, play Final Fantasy VII, or, watch someone play it. Watch all the movies or play Crisis Core. So that's another game that you have to go through. Watch Advent Children, because that one scene and the final battle where we get blasted with the thing and we see Cloud and Sephiroth like about to clash, that happened in Advent Children, or at least I can't remember if that happened at the beginning, because I think someone said like, oh yeah, that's when Marlene's like explaining the plots of Final Fantasy VII, basically, and that's how it started or ended. So you have to go through that, and then maybe watch the stuff of not Crisis Core, of Dirge of Cerberus as well, because I think the only tie so far of Dirge of Cerberus is just the failed experiments. I think, from what, again, that's what I said, but anyway, guys, holy moly, I spent 20 minutes talking at the beginning of the video here, and now I spent like almost 20 minutes talking at the end of the video here. This whole video is mostly me talking rather than actual gameplay and stuff. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this game. Jeez, I lost my train of thought. But, oh yeah, now I remember. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this playthrough. I had a blast in this game. I think the only trophies I didn't get on screen were beating all of them on hard, which is totally fine. Getting all the dresses and the Whack-a-Box ones, which is not a big deal. And Jesse's thing. I think those were the only trophies. Oh, and all the weapons and all the weapon abilities learned and all the monster skills learned. I think those are like the only trophies I didn't get, which are, the skill trophies. But I'm glad I was able to beat Pride and Joy prototype on this video, because holy crap, I was scared. The one I was most scared of was Bahamut and Ifrit, and I'm surprised that I was able to kill Bahamut and Ifrit. I was so surprised. The catastrophe helped a lot. I lucked out, because Barrett was the only one alive. I was like, I need to use Rays on Aerith. I thought I didn't get it. I thought I did not get it. I was like, oh, fucked. I'm fucked. But no, then Aerith came alive. I'm like, oh, thank God. So I lucked out on that. Final clock in. 102 hours and 50 some. Oh, wow, the timer even stops if I'm not even moving around so much in here. That's actually pretty cool. But final clock is 102 hours and 52 minutes. That's it. That took almost... Because let's look right here. So, hold on. I'm just saving it. It takes a while to save, too. It's just a bit annoying. Okay, so look at here. So this is the save I had at the end of the last video. Was only like close to 48 hours. I doubled that amount. Granted, I did play through it again, and a lot. Like I said, maybe 2 or 3 of these hours is just me just sitting on pause, not doing anything. So take that as is. So like if I take 2 or 3 hours out, it's it comes up to like around 99 hours, 100 hours. So, but yeah, I love this game. It's fantastic. Like I said, I think this is the ultimate love letter to Final Fantasy VII fans and like the fans who played the original, Final Fantasy fans in general. I think because like this is great. I love the combat, and it might have some issues, but it's actually once you understand it, because definitely, like I said, playing through this on hard again really made me have to think. Is like okay, because like I had to go through all this. It's like, okay, materia. What's the good materials to have? That materia or that materia. Those are good materials to have on right away. Like I said, first strike, always have Cloud or someone. Always have whoever's in your... Have like at least 1 or 2 of your party members have first strike on. It sucks that there's only 2 first strike materials, but that's totally fine. Always have someone with that, especially at max, because you always start with a full ATP gauge and like halfway through the other one. So... I'd say that's always a must to have because it helps out a lot. And of course, these HP and MPs and the magic ups ones, they help a lot too. Elemental helps, especially on defense, as you see. I absorb that damage, so that's actually pretty cool. So that's that. And then of course, if it's as a weapon, I add a lot of damage to it, which is awesome as well. And it sucks again. There's only 2 of those. One that you have to find, and I believe the other one is. Do you find it or do you... Yeah, and then the other one's gifted to you at the end of that one thing. I love the summon materials. I think these are all great. I freaking love Fat Chocobo. Fat Chocobo, I think, is still my favorite summon. Just because of how awesome it looks. I'm a big fan of it. And, of course, Bomb. That's another thing, too. They're not going to give me all these... They're not going to give me all these summons at the start of the next part. I mean, they might. Who knows? Or what they could do... And this could be great. This is how they start... part 2. You have all your stuff. Now, this is a little spoiler for Final Fantasy VII, but I don't think it's a big one. So, I believe the next party member that we'll get is Yuffie. Yuffie's a ninja. If you guys played Final Fantasy, well, if you play Final Fantasy VII, you know who she is. If you played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, you also know who she is. I love her. Yuffie steals your materia. She steals all of your materia. I think and of course and then when you talk to her and you get her into a party, she'll give it back to you. But I think what they could do with the materia stuff is have, maybe not right away, maybe like you do one little bit of a section with all your materia, and then Yuffie comes and steals all your materia, and then she runs away and she sells it off. Because she'll be like, okay, you meet Yuffie, and it's like, oh, give us all the material. It's like, oh, I can't. I already sold it all off, or I hid them all away, or something like that. Like, I didn't sell them all off, but I sold all but the summon materials. I hid in the summon materials. That would be perfect. That could be the perfect way for us to get rid of all of the materia, is just have Yuffie steal it. Now, what they're going to do for the parts afterwards, I don't know. But I think that would be the perfect way to start off part 2, is have a little section. You know, all right, we're at Midgar. We're on our way to... I forgot what's the village you go to next. But then we run into Yuffie. We fight her. We, quote-unquote, win. But it's all like, nope, I faked it. And she steals all the materia and runs away. Maybe she steals all but, like, a few of the materia. She's like, oh, I'm not stealing all of it. Like, she steals all the summon materia. She steals all, like, almost all. Like I said, except for, like, maybe a couple of heals, a fire, an ice, a wind, and lightning. Like, she steals all the materials. Even though I think in the original, she actually steals all the materials. But like I said, in the original, she also gives it back to you if you talk to her and actually have her join your party. So, but yeah, I digress. All right, guys, this has been a long video, a lot of me talking, but there's also some great fights in there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this series, and yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the Chadley's thing too. I wonder if we'll actually see Chadley in future installments. I feel like he will be a character that we'll see as well, because I feel like we're just going to see a lot of these characters. Like, there's so many of them, even characters that were in the original. I'm actually looking forward to learning more about, like Rufus. I want to know more about Rufus, the Turks, of course, like everything. I'm just so excited for.
A pleasure to see you again, Cloud.
I'm just so excited.
Cloud,
So
I do hope you won't forget about me.
yeah, I feel like Chadley will show up again. But yes, guys, that is the end of Final Fantasy VII. I hope you guys enjoyed this ride. So thank you all. If you guys liked the video, please get a like button, click, comment down below, check about the video, and then like about the video. And let me know what you guys think of Chadley. What you guys think of this? What do you think of the Pride and Joy fight? Are you guys looking forward to doing that on your own? Are you guys nervous to do it on your own? Because I'll be honest, I was nervous doing it myself. I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. But I'm super glad that I did, because it was fantastic. So yeah. And as always, guys, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat, and subscribe to my main channel too. That's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both my main Twitter, the RPG Kingdom Kid Twitter, are in there too. I want to thank you all so much for watching once again, and I will see you all in the next Let's Play. Bye.